Alright guys, welcome back. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Let's see, we've got, as always, Toladib, EC Distro, Jive Core, X-Ray Charlie, and Yeoman, and oh, that's music you just popped in. Thank you very much guys for joining us tonight. It looks like we've got a few lurkers as well watching us. Thank you very, very much. Oh, Pro-E Guy, yes, thank you guys for jumping in and tuning in tonight. So, to start off, I know I teased a little bit with you guys as to the new material, so I'm going to go ahead and jump in onto that. The new material that we were able to 3D print this week, as you guys saw in the Kickstarter update, was this little guy right here. And I'm going to give it just about a half a second for it to, there you go, to show how smooth and nice that print came out. There you go. Very nice. So, the question is how were we able to actually 3D print this, and what is this? Well, truth be told, this little piece of material, let me go ahead and refocus again, there you go. This little material is actually porcelain. That's correct. And it dries out quite nicely, and it actually prints quite nicely as well. It actually prints easier and better than the plasticine that we've seen so far. So if you guys actually want to make stuff that is food grade safe, you can now with porcelain. So there you go. Alrighty. And as always, if you guys have any questions at any point in time, you can always throw them in the chat room, or you can email them to us directly at HYREL3D@gmail.com, and also you can also tweet us at HYREL3D or at HYREL3D, and we'll be answering your questions online throughout this entire program. So that's another one added to the list. We also printed with a different type of material this week, different type of plasticine. And that particular plasticine was from it's also from the American Clay Company, who was kind enough to actually send us some of their material. I can tell you that this plasticine, when we first looked at it, was rather unusual, because this stuff is incredibly tough. It's not very easily malleable. I mean, you really have to work into the actual plasticine to actually get it to deform to what you want, but the best part about it is that once you print with it, it holds its shape quite well. This stuff is incredibly sturdy stuff, and so I know I'm going to be repping them, or whatever you want to call it, plugging them. Yeah, there's a plug. Plugging them. So, but we use their Permoplast modeling clay, which is a very close derivative to Nuplast and a few others that are out there. It's extremely tough, guys. This stuff, I mean, you could knock it like this, and you can make some kind of dents, but not really. This stuff is like, it's like a brick. So, and some of the prints we did off them a little bit earlier this week turned out beautiful. I mean, better than the actual real plasticine, this other kind of modeling clay plasticine that we've been using for quite some time. And when it printed off just gorgeously. This Nuplast stuff printed off perfectly. So I'm told that this is the type of stuff that they use for claymation, because they've gone from a typical modeling type of plasticine clay to this stuff, because it really does hold its shape. And it's not, if you bump into it, it's still going to hold its shape quite well. So, let's see. Alrighty. Oh, X-Ray Charlie says, try warming it up a bit. I use a hairdryer. It usually makes it softer and easier to work with. Yes. We did not use a hairdryer. In fact, we used this guy. We used a little bit of microwave power, and it did soften it up quite a bit, but the stuff by itself is... It's quite amazing, the fact that you're able to fold around something like this, and as you guys can see, it didn't even crack. That type of modeling clay that we've been using, which is a softer type of plasticine, if you were to do this with it, it would eventually break. So, great stuff. So if anyone from AMACO is watching, thank you very much. Your stuff does print, it does work, and the harder type of plasticines out there do print. So,
That's a nice overhang capability.
Yes.
Very impressive from that standpoint.
As you may have heard Carl just say over here, that the overhang capability of it is incredible. So, whereas with this type of material that we first printed, when you do overhangs, it tends to wobble a little bit, which is not a robust solution. It looks like I'm dropping frames. I'm sorry guys if we're dropping frames a little bit. If it gets too bad, then I'll have to restart the cast. So, but if we are dropping frames and you're having a problem with that, click the pause button and then press the play button, or just reload the page, and that should take care of all the issues. Okay, so, but this stuff, this permaplast stuff, when we start printing with it, even with overhangs, it wasn't doing the little wobbly issue that we had when we first were printing the base. And because of that, we're going to be using this stuff from here on out when it comes to printing stuff for shows and stuff like that. So great stuff, and it's not too expensive. So try to see if there's actually a price on this stuff. No, but it comes in 1 pound bags, or 1 pound type of material, as you guys can see right there. We used up one full stick. As you guys can see there, so 4 sticks, used up 1 of them, and guys, the stuff is just absolutely incredible. Okay, enough about the actual materials. Sorry about that. Moving on more toward the actual the software stuff. Carl's going to get in that in just 1 moment. We do have a demo to show you guys tonight of the actual software and it working. Both Carl and Greg have been working their tails off and have gotten something that is just absolutely amazing for you guys to see tonight. You might think that what you're seeing is a lot of the same when it comes to stuff like Rep It Your Host, and you know, it's still the same environment. However, there have been a lot of changes to make this a lot better. And as anyone in the programming world can tell you, is that sometimes it's the tweaks that take longer than the actual programming of the engine itself. So in this case, it's the same issue. Also tonight we have oh yes, Clay, Less Music, thank you very much. He asks, is the clay printed with the EMO 25 extruder? Yes, this was actually printed with the EMO 25 extruder, and it was printed cold. We did not think that at least initially when we put this in there, in the actual extruder, that this was going to actually extrude.
It was quite
because it's extremely stiff stuff. But because of how stiff it has opened our eyes to a lot of different types of materials that we can actually extrude with the EMO 25 extruder as well. So thank you very much, Les, for that question. So yes, if you guys are going to be getting an EMO 25, you can print with this very hard plasticine, and you can print with harder clays that are meaning not harder than this, but the type of clays that are a little bit harder than your typical air dry type of clay. So, but mad props, thank you to AMACO for actually sending us that material. Okay. We also have 10 engines over at the other facility burning in as of right now. So if you guys are watching on the drop cam, you will see all 10 of them.
Can you pull it up?
Yeah. You'll have to give me just a second while it's going to take me just a moment to pull it up.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So, but I'm going to turn it over to Carl.
Hola, amigos. So we had a good week, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Could have been more on the firing of cylinders, but overall I think we got a lot of stuff moving along. I was in Germany until Wednesday night, so you guys know from the magic fingers out of the hotel on Sunday night's broadcast. I think where I want to start tonight. I think we're going to start with the drop can, because I need to. First things first, it's very frustrating for everybody when you don't know what's going on, so sometimes it feels like nothing happens. It feels like I just got another popsicle out of the refrigerator and not another screw got put in place. But we actually, in spite of me being gone, or maybe because I was gone, the guys got a lot done. So let's just get me off the screen and get something onto the screen for a second. Oh, that's beautiful. Is that what's going to be showing?
There you go. Hold on just 1 second. And
And-
go to the screen 1. There you go.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
like that. So this is Davo's and Dave Sable and everyone else's hard work. And these are at the highest revision level of hardware. There is nothing that we know of that needs to be done to these other than put the cover on the front and load the final software and then do the QC print on it. So I just want you guys to see these guys have got this looking good, and they've actually been sitting there for most of the week, I believe.
Yep.
And if you come back to the other camera now.
Sure.
I would can tell you that's a sight for sore eyes. I'm going to move my head, and you're going to see where some more are, I believe.
Oh yes. There
If
you
you
go.
look back there on the, I'll go walking back.
That was another bag, guys. That was another box full of stuff for me. And ACO, they wants to print.
That's 4 more,
That's
and I believe those are just waiting for the latest firmware to be programmed into them.
that is correct.
So all these have outriggers, bearings, table leveling, everything, and they all move. So
Powers USA, you ask why no covers on the tin burn engines is because, and that's a very good question.
he's talking about the stainless steel cover.
Yes, the stainless steel covers. We didn't put them on as of just yet because we're gonna be. I'm gonna have to do what? It's a
Let
hard
me
drive.
answer that.
It's
Let me
hard.
answer
Okay.
that question.
Okay.
There are things on the inside that sometimes it's easier for us to get straight into. The software is one. Sometimes we re-image the entire system,
The hard drives.
the hard drive. Yeah, and it just means you stick in the SATA cable. But there are also some other things that's part of our QC checklist, and so we don't screw the cover on until it passes the whole QC checklist. And one of those is to make sure that each and every function on the printer is fully functioning. And so sometimes the connector has been known to be plugged in the wrong USB connector. That was for you, Davo. Uh-oh.
Nope. That's just
It's just a printer dropping. Don't worry about it.
Oh, it's just clay.
Oh, I think I know whose printer that was. Nah, it's the clay. It was the clay. It was no printers took the dive.
Yes. Yes, Powers USA, you're right. With the covers on, they would run.
It's not an issue. It draws 12 watts. That's all the Atom processor draws. The heat's not an issue whatsoever.
Yeah.
We've had them covered up quite a bit, hundreds of hours of it. That's the reason we picked this CPU. It has like no heat whatsoever coming out of it. We were hoping we could put a coffee mug up there in the wintertime and keep it warm, but no. So otherwise, no one would sleep at night over there. Too hot. Okay, so that's a good place to start.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing would be that there are five systems in the next room. I can roll 1 or 2 of them in. We're going to actually be doing that shortly.
Yes.
So we have one original Kickstarter. That's a System 23.
Mm-hmm.
And we put it together so you guys can take a look at it. And then we have 4 System 30s. Only because those 4 were going to Greg and Les Music and Ken in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And I owe one. What's the gentleman's name who called us the other day? That's from New Jersey.
Nerd Rocks.
Is that Nerd Rock?
Yeah, it's Nerd
Okay.
Rocks. Yeah.
And one goes to Nerd Rocks in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why there's 4 System 30s without
Yes.
asking anybody else what their sign-in procedure is. What have you got for the PDFs? Are you able to put them up on the screen so we can show them to them?
Only a few of them. Yes.
Where are the rest of them?
You'll have to give me a second to pull them up.
I think they were going to be on the Y drive, so
yes.
we could just put them up and display them.
Yes.
So what we'd like to do is take just one right after the other and show you where we're at with the accessories, and then you guys can give us some kind of feedback on that. And Hutch has been busy working with lots of PDFs, so he's going to put it up on the screen so you don't have to look at me. I did shave. Happens once in a while. but then we'll be able to find out what you guys are thinking.
All right, guys. So you have to give me just 1 second. I have to pull
okay.
this over here.
Because it all comes off of that screen.
Yeah, it all comes off.
Nice,
on
nice,
screen,
nice.
So. And this is just one. This is just the very first one, guys. So bear with me. All right, there we go. So it might be a little bit hard to read on. I apologize for that, guys. Let's see if I can get the view up a little bit better.
Can I see? Can it be where I can see the chat messages still?
Yeah, I'll bring that up in just a second.
Okay.
So
I didn't know that was possible.
absolutely. There it goes. Okay. No questions so far. So this is one of the very first accessory.
All right, this is a digital calibrator. Just let me walk through and tell them what the function of it is.
Sure.
And these will all be available to you guys. He's going to send all the PDFs to you like a little catalog. But it's just a digital version for tramming. And right now it doesn't work for what we wanted because the manufacturer screwed up the pinouts on it. We were hoping to be able to do some auto calibration. So we've got another thing we're working on for that. Where we can actually tram the bed electronically, and I'll also be able to do it with a camera. So just showing you. I don't know that we'll sell any of these. I like the old dial one better myself. Davo uses the dial one when he's tramming in the beds, and it goes quite quickly, quite painlessly. So let's go to the next feature item.
Okay.
Unless there's a question. If anyone's got a question on this, I have to go look.
To go back and forth between this. Okay, here's another one.
Okay, this one I like, but you guys can buy this anywhere. So you don't have the picture of the holder for these, do you?
I do not have a picture for the holder of these.
Okay.
No, so
The holder's in there.
yes.
Well, this comes with the holder. You can see it, but you can't see it. It's behind the dial gauge. So we just bought some cheap dial gauges and put them with a holder. And in case you're wondering about those prices, there's a better price for the Kickstarters.
There we go.
We only stick it to new customers, not the old ones.
Okay. They're able to see us and watch this thing at the same time now. So.
Where's the chat show up, though?
The chat's right over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no one said anything yet.
No.
All right. So this is my favorite for tramming, and here comes the next one. It's the fan, and that comes with a controller, so you can turn it on and off using the. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, this is the wrong one. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on a second.
Oh.
I had to go back and forth in order to make it. I'm trying to get this stuff so it actually will fit on the website as well. So, apologize for that.
If you have one of those dial gauges, you don't need to buy a new one, because if you get a fan, it comes with a mounting hole for the dial gauge, because you can just pull the fan right out. I'll show you how that works. The fan.
Hold on a second.
Well, the fan would pull out if I didn't mess it up. Looks like I broke this one. That's the kind of guy I am.
It's in there good.
Yeah, there. The fan pulls out, and then the bolt hole on the side here, you just bolt your tram guy, because you only tram once every 6 months, you know, probably. We've been able to tram them once and run them. I mean, I've been running mine for 4 weeks, so I've carried it back and forth a dozen times in the rooms.
Okay.
There you go. And even with my glasses off, I got the connector back in.
Yep.
Now, the reason why we're doing this is because we're trying to make it so the electronic version of the tramming device will just plug into this board. And that's what we're trying to do. And that way you'll have yourself a nice multi-point, nice topography. Okay, so anyway, there you go. Next on the list.
Okay, next on the list is going to be the Spectre.
Oh, now this one is kind of a fun one for me, but it may not be worth anything to anybody else. If I plug a webcam in, can you actually see it on here?
Yes, actually, if you want to. If you grab it.
I think you got the drivers.
Okay.
Yeah. See if you can plug it in, and I'll get the stand just so I can demonstrate it better.
All right, guys.
Is that it?
Well, you're only going to have a limited...
I know that. Just plug it in the front, that's fine.
Do you want me to get the...
No, just plug it in the front of the computer.
Okay. Okay guys, you have to give it just a second. It's going to be installing some drivers, just like any other kind of camera does. And once I have it up and running, then I'll be able to use XSplit to... for Carl to actually show you this thing working, this particular inspector tool that you see up here, up on the screen. There. So, okay. Give it a second. Still installing the driver software.
So, Greg, is your mom able to stay up tonight? Said she might be able to watch the broadcast. I hope she's with us.
Jivecore says, nice work on the porcelain and clay. Thank you. Thank you, Jivecore. I appreciate that. Okay. Give me 1 second. Guys, do not panic. We're just going to go to a black screen for just about a half a moment, and I'll be pulling up that particular camera in just a moment, okay?
So you just put it on the screen, do a screen share.
I will, but you actually, you know what? Let me see if I can do that. I'm not sure if you can do two cameras on the same.
Greg taught me that trick. I mean, we're finding out the image is better on a screen share than it is through the camera.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
Please forgive me, guys. If this thing crashes on me, I do apologize.
It won't crash.
So
I already know the video screens are quite good. Okay. Ouch! My foot crashed.
All right. So you guys can see what's going on here.
Okay, let's inspect. You know what? Let's inspect something. What do we make that we want to see?
Here, let me get the camera over here a little bit closer, just a little bit closer for you guys.
Do you know where the vase is?
Yeah, should be over there. Over there. 1 second.
Over here. Oh, I found it.
Okay.
Oh, it was in the trash can.
There you go, guys. Yeah, you really wanted to see the trash can. One of our trash cans. Fantastic.
Here.
Okay.
All right, so we'll just. Well, I got to get this to sit still.
She said, yes, she's watching, but no autographs. Okay, Craig.
No autographs.
I know.
All right, that's not going to work as well. I can't get it up in the air on this one. There you go. That is a print that you're looking at one row right after the other. And you can see how there's a little defect there that you can find. Can they see the mouse when I move it?
No, they cannot.
That's too bad, because I wanted to show them the mouse. I'll just do it with my finger. Oh, they still can't see it. It's all right. The idea is that if you want to get really good inspection of certain parts of the build, you stick this in your yoke, and then you can program it to actually run to a location, and it will then shoot a shot at high resolution for you. And yeah, he's trying to show where it's at. He does this, in this case I'm running a limited depth of field, so you have to shoot your shots right after you make your print in that zone. Again, if you're trying to get something really dialed in nice, or you have a QC issue for parts you're building, this will be great. If you don't have that, then this will be a joke. So it just depends on what you're trying to do. You know what? Why did I have to go mess up that beautiful print I did the other day? I was going to do... Hold on. I think... Well, you know what? I might be able to focus in the distance there.
Oh, you need a base?
Oh, there.
Okay.
There it is.
Wow. So this is the inspector tool. That's what we're calling the inspector. There you go.
So that'll give you a little better idea. And you notice that the lights are actually programmable. And
that's significant because when it comes to optics, lighting is
everything for us. Okay, so there's an example of something, so you guys can see the quality of the image and everything. Anyway, there you go. Inspect the clay part. You know what? Where's the porcelain?
The porcelain?
Yeah, it's
It's right
right
there, yeah. Yeah, okay. Hold on a second, guys. Let me go and move this guy out of the way.
Alright, so then let's see if we can get that to go right where it belongs. I'm actually going to bring this down if I can. It's not feature rich